Okay, so the very first thing that I learned was that you have to deal with legal regulation. The regulation it's still a work in progress. No regulators know exactly what's going on, and you have some regulators in some countries that are just outright banning ICOs. Kind of gets Bitcoin and ICO people, cryptocurrency fanatics, a little bit angry, but I completely understand. We have a big presence in China right now because we're building on the NEO network. But the reason behind this is because they want to protect their citizens from making bad moves. One guy at one of these meetings asked me, why do they think that there's so much money being pumped in to cryptocurrency? And my answer, and the true answer, is because there's a bunch of dummies out there that can invest in money, or invest their money into these things right now. That's the reason. So China wanted to protect their citizens from just putting money into projects that were scams. There was something like 16 projects the year before that said they would deliver something, and all 16 delivered nothing. So that's the reason behind that. Other motives like the US banning ICOs, probably financial reasons and all kinds of different reasons, but many people are just banning them. You have other countries that are trying to figure it out, being very proactive, and so that's one. That's just